And welcome back to Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons.
We're on the road again.
Now, we officially got out of the town, but that doesn't mean we don't have time for some silly diversions.
Diana?
Let me sweep that for you. My father is dying.
He's working on his NPC animations. However, the younger brother has another idea.
He's very talented.
Now, I did not realize at this point that when you take this little girl's ball, you can actually put it into the basket. I hadn't tried that. Now, you're supposed to do something else with the basket. I mean, you can play, or sorry, not the basket, the ball. They should name a sport after that. That was terrible. I'm taking your ball away.
We're going to call it ball and hoop. Oh my god.
Now, this takes
Really?
a while. This takes a while because the physics are really screwed up. At least when it comes to throwing the ball. But yes, we are going to throw that little girl's ball down the well. There's no reason to do this other than getting an achievement.
Achievement unlocked. What a dick.
And then just add rub salt to the wound. You can hock a loogie down there.
Oh! Oh! Oh, it's fun for the entire family, folks.
Oh, but it gets worse.
Please don't tell me you're going to hawk a loogie on her.
No. I was really hoping that there was like a unique animation for the younger or for the older brother comforting the little girl as she's crying, but there isn't. Now, we know that this isn't some kind of commentary about the WNBA because the developers are Swedish. They probably have never heard of it.
Oh, no.
While we're on the subject, actually, which part of this is coming up here? So while we're on the subject, the developer, the lead developer, the writer and director for this game is a fellow by the name of Josef Fares, who has worked with Starbreeze Studios for a while. He is a Lebanese-Swedish filmmaker and game designer. And it's just really nice to have someone who understands, or a filmmaker who understands the advantages and the value of video games as a medium and knows when to make certain parts interactable and other parts are told only through cutscenes.
So the polar opposite of Hideo Kojima.
I'm thinking more David Cage, but...
Ah, yeah. True.
Yeah, I'm afraid the older brother is not exactly a musical protege. You'll find that sometimes there's like some weird movement. It can be occasionally awkward to try and get a sense of where both brothers are. Especially when they're moving in different directions.
Mm-hmm. Do you find splitting the focus between them to be kind of tricky?
Depends on the puzzle. It's certainly not. It certainly works better when I'm not drunk like the young brother is now. And coming up is our first lethal obstacle.
Lethal, you say?
The first chance for a fail state. Because this pit bull, I think it's a pit bull, is guarding the farm, and we have to get to the other side. So we can use the action button to distract the dog. And we gotta do this, because now the older brother can't move, so we use the younger brother to distract, etc. And the dog does run slightly faster than either brother, so if you stay on the ground for too long, it's pretty much game over.
Popper's gonna get you.
Hey! Hey!
That's actually a brilliant puzzle.
And
Oh, no.
I came very close a couple of times to ruining this take. I played very aggressive on this part.
How many times would you say you finished this game?
4 or 5, I think. This was the first time I'd actually gotten all achievements on a run. I mean, I haven't put as much time into this as, say, Resident Evil 4, but, I mean, this game is still fantastic for what it is, and I love it dearly. And I came very close there. I was about a half second away from dying.
Hey!
That dog was about to take a bite out your ass.
Yep. And there's a surprisingly detailed animation for that, for a T-rated game.
Just you are dead. Your brother is crying. The dog is devouring you. Right out of Resident Evil.
Oh, I thought you were going for, like, an angry video game nerd reference there. I can't remember whether I said this before, but thankfully jumping is automatic, like it is in Zelda. You just have to run over to the ledge.
Oh, that water is really good, too.
Yeah, this game came out in, I want to say it was 2013. So it was many years after Microsoft limited or removed the Xbox size limit for XBLA games.
Yeah.
Really? I think what's flooring me the most here is the really, really beautiful job they've done with all the texture work and visuals.
I agree. Also, letting this bird out of its cage is a setup for an achievement a little later in the game. And here we've got this bridge powered by a hamster wheel.
Running this wheel.
You could probably figure out what the puzzle is.
Please tell me you're going to put that sheep in the wheel.
Yep, right on the money. Now, there are a few other achievements and other things here in this specific map. Sadly, this is not one of them. However, if you remember about a minute or two ago, we saw a group of rabbits.
Key? When hadi?
And again, these rabbits have nothing to do with story progression, but there is an achievement tied to them. That poor little white rabbit is being ostracized by all the black rabbits. So why don't we help him out a bit? And now they're all friends.
Aww.
I feel like this is the exact opposite of the message that was taught in the Sneetches, but hey, if it works, it works.
Pet the sheep.
Come on, Twitter, where's the pet the sheep gimmick account?
I have to know if you can throw one in the river.
No, you can't. You can, however, take the sheep all the way over to the fire pit. And that's also an achievement. And that is one of the very few times in this game that I actually use an edit. Because this game's pacing is excellent. There's very little filler. And there's really only one level that I would consider bad. And even then, that's really a stretch. It's just kind of annoying at parts. And I mentioned before, the lead developer is Josef Fares. He is an independent filmmaker. He tends to cast his brother, Fares, into a lot of his films. He was also, if you remember, he was... Which one? In A Way Out, he was Leo.
I still have to play that. A Way Out is the one where it's the two guys that escape from prison, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, so the sequel to Brothers is directed by Quentin Tarantino.
And It Takes Two is the one about grief and marriage counseling with an annoying book voiced by Josef Fares himself.
That's what I thought, because, like, once a year, and it's going to be coming up here in December, is the Game Awards, and Josef has been on the Game Awards a couple of times.
Yes, I was actually going to mention that. Perhaps if you know anything about Josef Fares that's not about his games, it's from the interview that he did in the 2017 Game Awards with Jeff Keighley, where he turned to the camera, asked if he could swear, and then said, "Fuck the Oscars!"
Yes!
Fuck the Oscars!
This is a man who is very excited about this as a medium. Like, that man has a fervor for the job that he does that I find very rare in anything, but especially this. And I feel bad because I was not familiar with him at the time, and the way that he did that, I started to refer to him as Johnny Cocaine because it looked like he was blazed out of his mind on stage. I'm not saying he was.
You could say that he was high on enthusiasm for the video game industry.
Dude is high on life. He is very energetic. But holy shit, that's who that is. And I didn't realize at the time of that interview, I didn't realize he was working on It Takes Two.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, I saw it when they finally revealed it, and I'm like, oh, that tracks. That actually tracks. That makes sense for this guy to make these types of games.
Yeah, if I'm remembering correctly, that interview with Jeff Keighley happened at around the same time as the reveal trailer for A Way Out. I think it was like within a couple of minutes of it.
Yes.
Anyway, this troll is going to follow us for a bit. He's very helpful. Now, say what you will about trolls, but they have incredible upper body strength. And he's holding on by his fingers. He's not even trying to grab on. That is an amazing athletic feat.
So this is El Gigante after therapy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the concussion from a rocket launcher to the face probably didn't help.
He wants to pet the rabbits, George.
Oh no!
Look at the detail on him, though. Like, there's mushrooms growing out of his back. This is endearing.
Yeah, I mean, when I mentioned before that there was no world building, I meant in the sense like there's no codex entries. You know, nobody has names. Everything is implied through visual storytelling.
it's so clean in its execution.
Pulling up from ledges is actually surprisingly one of the more dexterously difficult things to do, because while holding on to the action buttons, you also have to pull both sticks up at the same time. And it's very easy to accidentally forget and only do the left stick and send the younger brother plummeting to his death.
Whoa!
I also like how the younger brother is thrown a further distance because he doesn't weigh as much. I was hoping to add some more asynchronous movement, especially when it came to doing that jump. But it's very difficult to do, and I ruined a couple of takes because I got too cute trying to make it look natural. The video after this basically consists of almost nothing but puzzles where you're deliberately, put into asynchronous movement or asymmetrical movement, where the two characters have to be doing different things at the same time, and you have to keep track of both of them.
So this is basically the interlude between, okay, you've done a little bit of this and now it's going to get real, right?
Yeah. For example,
Sploosh.
El Gigante just wanted to give the kids the same head trauma he suffered when Leon shoved a rocket launcher in his face. Though he doesn't really talk to his brother, who was stuck in Africa for a while. Yeah, you have a couple of seconds of time before the younger brother drowns to get him to shore. And of course, if you let go, it's game over.
I just realized what the art style reminds me of.
What does it remind you of?
Fable.
Huh. Okay, that's a game I have. I have Fable: The Lost Chapters on Steam. Only played a couple of minutes. Maybe I should get back into that now that I'm several decades divorced from the hype train.
I'm gonna say, this game is beautiful. And we're only on episode 2.
Yeah.
But the art style really does remind me of parts of Fable.
From what I remember of Fable, yeah, I can see that.
And I'm not complaining, but I mean, oh my god. Yosef, this is the game that's gonna make me apologize for the Johnny Crackhead joke. Continue to be overly excited to be at the Game Awards. Good God, be the only person who's excited to be there.
While I have not played A Way Out, just because I don't do co-op games that much, I have seen several playthroughs of it, including ones by the Game Grumps, as well as Pat and Wooly, formerly of Two Best Friends. May they rest in peace. God damn it, I said that again. It's like they died. They didn't die. The group just broke up. In loving memory of the Zaibatsu, I guess.
They're dead to each other. That's all that matters. Wait, that came out wrong.
This is somehow turning out to have much darker humor than Crash Bandicoot ever did.
There's something about this game I don't understand.
Well, without spoiling anything too much, this game will be providing its own dark material eventually, to the point where I'm gonna have to start putting content warnings. That's gonna be fun.
Oh my god! And this is only 7 episodes.
8. It's 8 episodes.
8 episodes. 8 episodes.